In today's video, I've got 5 facts about Akagi from the series Azur Lane / a character analysis video. But hey, if you're new here, why not join the 4on4 community by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a video. And a huge shout out to the Azur Lane Academy who have partnered with me in this video to bring more information on the characters and ships. I will leave a link in the description below to their social media links, so make sure you check them out. With that being said, let's roll intro and get straight into the video. Let's go. Akagi is of the Sakura Empire. She is part of the Akagi class. Her classification is an aircraft carrier, and in the popular mobile game that the anime is based on, she is a super rare ship who can only be obtained via drop only. Appearance-wise, evil fox girl, but nice. I am a fan of her, let's say, design. Akagi has long black hair with pointy fox ears. Do like a fox girl, I won't lie. Her eyes are a gorgeous fiery red colour with extra red makeup to really highlight this. Obviously, can't ignore the foxtails either, right? They look awesome. Akagi is known to appear in a bath of flames, likely a reference to her ship's demise. Attire-wise, she wears a white top that accents her nice features, bust size, tied together just below said bust with a black belt, a red miniskirt and knee-high tights. She also wears a long overcoat that has a red and black theme with gold trimmings. This just finishes off her look perfectly. Staying on the topic of her colour design, what Azur Lane does really well with its characters' designs is the subtle designs based on the real ships. In Akagi's case, she is always seen wearing red. This is a reference to her name, which translates to Red Castle. IGN Akagi was a Japanese aircraft of the Akagi class. Her namesake is Mount Akagi, located in the present-day Gunma Prefecture. She was laid down on December the 6th of 1920 and commissioned on March 25th of 1927. She was originally laid down as an Amagi-class battlecruiser, but was reclassified and converted to an aircraft carrier in 1923 to comply with the Washington Naval Treaty. Now, the Akagi class of aircraft carriers, of course Akagi being the only one, began life as a battle cruiser of the Amagi class, but were redesigned and refitted to be aircraft carriers partway through their construction. However, her sister Amagi, who was originally going to be a carrier of the same class, had her hull damaged beyond economic repair because of the Great Kanto earthquake. Thus, Amagi was later scrapped and some of her parts made their way into Akagi. Her original design had 3 different flight decks, but she was later rebuilt from 1935 to 1938 to consolidate them all into one large flight deck and to add an island superstructure. Her pre-rebuild service saw her become the flagship of the 1st Carrier Division upon its creation on April 1st, 1928, in which Rear Admiral Sankichi Takahashi served upon her. Her early years were uneventful and mostly consisted of patrols and training cruises. Her post-rebuild service is where things really started to pick up. Not long after the rebuild was complete, she had rejoined the 1st Carrier Division. On January 30th, 1939, she sailed to southern Chinese waters, where she supported the Japanese offensives as part of the Second Sino-Japanese War. In April 1941, her and her half-sister Kaga were both reassigned to the 1st Carrier Division as part of the new Kido Butai. Now, in September of 1941, the fleet anchored in Ariake Bay, Kyushu, for training for what would become the Pearl Harbor attack. The attack that would thrust America into the war and essentially mark the Akagi for doom. Now, her skill in game preemptive victory is actually a reference to her participation in the Pearl Harbor raid. Akagi's Japanese voice actress is Mai Nakahara. She has voiced other characters such as Juvia Loxa in Fairy Tail, Musashi from Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere, Rena Ryugu in Higurashi When They Cry, Reiko Rikudo from Fate Apocrypha, and more. Akagi's English voice actress is Amber Lee Connors. She has voiced other characters such as Mei Aihara in Citrus, Sakura Kirishima from 100, Akari Hyuga in Bloom Into You, Miss Joke from My Hero Academia, and more. One of the main things that sticks out to me is the relationship between Akagi and Kaga. While Akagi and Kaga are often put together and treated as sisters, they're actually only half-sisters, as Akagi is Akagi class and Kaga is Kaga class. They were both converted from the Amagi class battlecruisers, but did have some design differences that separated them apart and made them into a different class of ships, each being the only ship in their respective classes. Now, the anime has certainly fan-serviced their relationship, which at first I was like, oh, sick. But then you remember they're sisters, half-sisters. Anime. Anyway, game-wise, while Akagi is a decent carrier in terms of stats on her own, she's not as good when compared to some American carriers. However, when paired with Kaga, the two ships become absolute beasts in combat. In the game, this is done with the skills that the two ships have called First Carrier Division, which when paired with Kaga increases their air power by up to 35%. Back to the history portion, this one's awesome, very relevant. On October 20th of this year, 2019, that's right, the famous research vessel funded by the late Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen discovered the wreckages of the sunken IGN Akagi just 2 days after discovering IGN Kaga, and has since released sonar images of the vessel, which is upright and largely intact. So there seems to be a bit of hatred that Akagi holds for Enterprise. Let me explain with more of a history lesson. After the events of Pearl Harbor, Akagi, Kaga and the Kido Butai served in further missions, sinking many US and British ships before being ordered on April 19th, 1942 to pursue the USS Enterprise and the USS Hornet. However, they were unable to locate them. Now, on May 25th of 1942, Akagi was sent out with the rest of the combined Japanese fleet's carrier forces for the attack on Midway. However, unknown to them, the Allies had broken Japanese codes and were preparing for the invasion, even setting an ambush using 3 of their own carriers. So on June 4th, 1942, with the fleet in position 250 nautical miles northwest of Midway at 4:45 AM, Akagi's aircraft part of the 108 plane air raid on the airfield of the Eastern Island. During this raid, Akagi lost 1 aircraft with a handful of others damaged, 1 beyond repair. Just minutes after the torpedo plane attacks, 28 American carrier-based SPD Dauntless dive bombers under command of Major C. Wade McCluskey from USS Enterprise, who had gotten lost, arrived over the Japanese fleet undetected at the same time that the flight bombers from the USS Yorktown arrived and began their attack on Kaga. While the bombers had gotten lost on their way to the fleet, they managed to follow the wake of a Japanese destroyer, leading them to the Japanese. In the raid, Kaga was hit by several of the dive bombers, and having realized she had been hit fatally, a squadron of under command of Richard Best had several of the bombers break off and hit Akagi, hitting her with one 1,000-pound bomb. This bomb hit the edge of the middle elevator, punching through the deck and detonating in the upper hangar. This hit caused the fully armed and fueled B-5N torpedo bombers to detonate, causing an uncontrollable fire. This would later be referred to as the 5 minutes that changed history. After many attempts to trying to prevent any more detonations or fires, at 4:50 AM on June 5th, 1942, the order was given for the IGN Akagi to be scuttled. At 5:20 AM, the destroyers Arashi, Hagikaze, Maikaze, and Nawaki each fired a single torpedo at the carrier, causing her to sink bow first. So yeah, in the game and anime, Akagi is noted as bearing strong hatred towards USS Enterprise. This is largely because Akagi was never actually able to find nor attack the USS Enterprise, and it was the Dauntless dive bombers that largely came from Enterprise that sunk Akagi and her sister Kaga. Thanks for watching. This is my video, 5 facts about Akagi from the series as Elaine. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more characters from this series, let me know in the comments. Now, a quick shout out to my 414 Elite Patreons, that in Thomas, Jamie, Autumn, Joshua, Aaron, VideoGamer75, Warwick, and the rest of you supporting me on the other tiers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you're interested in what rewards I have to offer on my Patreon, the link is in the description. Don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, as it really does help them reach a wider audience, and subscribe for more anime content. Till next time, my fellow weebs, peace!